What's going on, folks? I am Goat, and welcome back to Warframe. Why are we looking at the back of Gyre's head? Why? So, I've been putting off because I've been putting off dealing with this Warframe, okay? Because, like, my clan guys can most likely attest. If I remember speaking on the matter, I was very excited about another electrical-based Warframe, okay? My whole excitement behind an electrical-based Warframe is very simple, okay? Something that synergizes well together, okay? Because Volt does not. Volt's a very, very good frame, but Volt doesn't synergize very well, right? Like, if you think about it, you either build for, you know, range and ability strength, or you build for duration. You know, like, his second ability doesn't fit. Like, why not, you know, if everything else is like strength and duration, or I'm sorry, strength and range, why not make his speed ability boosted on a multiplier based on your ability strength, right? That would make the whole fucking kit synergize so much better. Granted, it's kind of a non-factor because Volt's a really good frame. But in my personal opinion, he's a very specifically good frame. Granted, his recent buffs have made him just that much better. But for the most part, like, you don't see a ton of Volt mains out there. So when they started talking about, you know, an electrical-based frame, a female, whatever, electrical-based frame, and then they showed her off and she basically looked like a steampunk thing, I was like, oh, that's all right. You know, and then the rotor swell thing, and I was like, God, okay, she's flipping her dress up at everybody, whatever. It's neither here nor there, okay? I still thought she looked like she had potential. And then, as I've spoken about, day one, she came out, I got her farmed on a funky little bug from the Zerman, which is fine. And I was so excited about her, I plat rushed her. It's like, hell yeah. Let's just get her built, get her done, get her going. Drop 2 4-manner. Felt great. And it was like 30 hours in, they nerfed the shit out of her. They said it was an interaction in the game that wasn't supposed to happen. It was basically a lightning storm, a crazy-ass lightning storm. If you had her first ability, her fourth ability active at the same time, and she, you know, enemies were being struck, it turned into a lightning storm from hell. And they said that that was an interaction that wasn't supposed to happen. So they nerfed it off. And it made, in my opinion, Gyre, unless you were trying to go for a pure shield gate build, her survivability was terrible, because the one thing that made her survivable was the fact of she could just fucking kill everything and not have to worry about taking damage. Now, her survivability is still a little bit in question, which is why I've done what I've done. I've been dicking with her for, well, this entire evening. It's I started messing with her, I don't know, 4 hours ago, just kind of fucking around with her. Well, about 6 hours ago, off and on. Did steel path incursions and such. And yes, I've got her normal helmet on. As you see, I've got pillage on there. Survivability. Yes, now that I've gotten her where I want her, she's most likely gonna get a Tau Forged Amber for casting speed, and then 4 crimsons. Okay, because if I'm gonna have pillage on there, I might as well go for the armor strip, and at the present 243% ability strength, pillage is only doing a 60% armor strength, and even with corrosive projection, her armor strip, so it's only 78%. So multi-augmented has a lot of catching up to do with that. So that being said, the build, using a mod I've never used before, okay? And yes, you can see prime sure-footed. While I was testing her, I got knocked on my butt and immediately fucking died, okay? So that right there told me, kind of necessary. Archon Stretch. I thought about trying to use Archon Stretch with Volt, right? But the thing of it is that with Volt, it's kind of not necessary. Works for Wisp. That's cool, but you don't need, like, if you build Wisp right, you don't really need to build her for a whole bunch of energy, so this is okay, but it's kind of unnecessary for the size of the mod. Whenever Stretch is 9 points and this motherfucker's 16, or yeah, 16 fucking points, you gotta really make it count. With this build, makes it count. She's only got 450 health, and that's due to Nyra's hatred. Now, I know somebody's going to be like, well, why wouldn't you just run Augur Message? You'll get a little bit more duration. I get what you're saying. Get a little bit of a shield buff, get a little bit more of a duration. Goes from 170 to 179. So, like, your ability goes, it literally gains 0.9 seconds. In lieu of getting an extra 150 health in case you take a toxin proc, and you still get almost the same ability duration. Personally, I like having that little tiny buffer. Yes, I put an Umber Form in her. No, you don't have to. I did this specifically because if other shit pops up, other different mods like these Archon mods and, you know, anything like that, or, you know, just something else different pops up in future stuff, I've got points to play with in that slot where Nyra's Hatred is. Like, every single fucking thing is polarized. Now, because of the amount of health she has, Archane Grace isn't really going to do you a whole lot of good. Basically, anything under about 600 health, and Arcane Grace is probably not going to do what you hope it's going to do. So you need to go another route. In this cage, wow, I can't fucking talk tonight. In this case, I went with Pillage. Basically, just go for overshields, right? Don't do a pure shield gate build per se. Because you kind of need other things, okay? But put Pillage on there and basically just sap shields. It's kind of okay. So Arcane Energize, obvious. Archon Stretch plays with Arcane Energize, and oh my fucking god, this bitch just does not run out of energy. Molt Augmented, quite a lot of fun. Rest of the build is pretty straightforward. We got duration, we've got, you know, I mean, efficiency seems terrible. You'll see it's not. You'll absolutely see it. It's not a problem. But yeah, I mean, ability strength, a little bit of range, more duration. Don't get knocked on your butt. Sorry if you don't have prime sure footage. Sure footage okay. It will at least help. But yeah, and I'm just running the Tenet Plasmor, the Gaze, which that particular one is the Gaze to splat the Haymaker. And then Glade Prime and Jesus Christ, because, you know, all hail the revelation. The revival. So, let's go play the Steel Path real quick. Let's go get to an Archon, right? This is really funny. Basically, just find a spot on the map that you can park and just literally just electrocute the shit out of everything around you. But just remember, it's an interaction that wasn't.
Each enemy is more powerful than before.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
Only with
See, I kind of like the look of it.
of the Tenno arsenal will you succeed.
Kept the steampunk, but added some, you know, electrical armor and, you know, the piracy and done it. Why not? That fucking alternate helmet though, the automaton helmet or whatever it is. Just can't get around it. Okay, let's figure out where they're coming from.
All systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
Hence the cast speed desire. This is this buggy interaction of lightning storm of death wasn't supposed to happen. Just saying. You know what? Put one here, one here. You know, run through them, they die. This is how we roll. Hi guys, kadoosh,
Life support
skadoosh, zappies. I mean, well, this is a good time. Just remember, this wasn't supposed to happen. Just hit them with rotor swell, they fucking die. It's good times, man. It's all good times over here. Oh look, hold on, there's a life support over here. Might as well go collect that.
I've I've delivered a life support capsule
Oh,
to
guys.
the area. Activating
not-
it will buy you more time.
Hey, buddy. How's everybody feeling today? All comes down to her augment mod being so much better. Giving us back that thing that we wanted from Gyre to begin with. And you know what? It's everything she needed. It literally took Gyre from the near bottom, like, hell of my list of frames and made her go, yeah, I exist. Any survivors?
Oh no. Prepare for
No.
life support.
Guess not. Okay, hold on. Okay.
I've delivered
God.
another life support
There you
capsule.
go, shitting Oregon again. See, I've had a couple of people kind of ask why I use Ani. Because, let's be honest, okay? Not everybody just lives on the steel path, right? Like, if you want me to go to Mott, I'll go to Mott. If you want me to go to the fucking Cougar Fortress, I'll go to the goddamn Cougar Fortress. I don't really give a shit. It's not like my builds won't handle it. I just prefer the mix of factions, right? Because that's definitely a thing. That's one thing Ani gives is a complete mix of factions. It gives you Corpus, it gives you Infested, it gives you Grenier, but it gives them to you as Corrupted, which have a different damage multiplier as far as damage reduction. Now you notice this shit is just constantly resetting. I mean, this just good days, man. This good days for Gyre right here. Just basically run through and nuke a motherfucker. Well, come on, guys. Come and play. I've been having so much fun since I finished this build, okay? That extra damage coupled with the extra interaction that's not supposed to exist. You know, like, and my thing is like, I don't know if DE just looked at the general playing of Gyre and just went, man, nobody is using this frame right now. What happened?
The operative has just made their first discovery. Keep up the good work.
See, I said we're gonna come in here for an acolyte, and then
extraction.
here we are. There we go. Good stuff. Okay, so we'll just recast that, we'll recast that, and then we'll cast another one right here in the middle. Why not? Oh, of course, it's fucking violence. It's the one time where I'm like, look at what my abilities are gonna do to this acolyte. I don't even have to fire a shot, the bitch is gonna die, and then violence shows up. Just to ruin my video. Little bitch. But no, you can literally just kind of jump around like an asshole around the other acolytes. Except for Malice, you don't, like, you definitely want to jump around, don't just stand there. Malice will shoot your ass. Malice kinda has no fucks given on that one. Him and his damn Opticore Vandal, they're kind of brutal. But yeah, no. Pretty much everybody but Violence just fucking dies, okay? I know. Again, I will, just like I said with Citrine, this is not something I
As
would
you
say,
conquer
hey,
the
go
foe,
dump an Umber Formator.
so
No,
you
don't.
conquer yourself.
Please don't. I do it because I want to have the ability to play around with stuff later. I have no problem farming Steel Essence to go pick up Umber Forma, and I have no problem doing special events and things like that to get Umber Forma. So it's just like, I'm okay with it. Okay. But see, her augment mod literally triggers a milder version of what they said was a bug. Okay. My mouse, okay. Get this thing in a spot where we can actually read the damn thing. Oh my god. So Cathode Current is Cathode Grace Augment. Eliminating an enemy while Cathode Grace is active will release an additional discharge from rotor swell with a 200% damage, or with 200% damage, and extend its duration by the same amount. So basically, it's constantly, like Cathode Grace constantly regens its time anyway, right? So you get regen time with your build, but it's constantly re-triggering the timer for rotor swell as well. So this motherfucker just is constantly running, and this motherfucker is constantly running. As long as you're killing stuff, it is constantly doing its job, and it's doing it very well. So it's a 200% damage increase, and it's, you know, again, I mean, read what that says. Eliminating an enemy, so killing an enemy while Cathode Grace is active. Okay, it doesn't say how. You don't have to use the, an ability to kill, but it helps. So if they're already procced by the first ability, okay, and then you just mop them up, that's eliminating an enemy. It doesn't matter how you do it, just you do it. You just basically kill an enemy as long as Cathode Grace is going and rotor swell is going. And then the first ability is literally just basically to kind of help, stagger the shit out of enemies and fuck them up so you can go mop them up. And this thing gives a 200% damage increase, and it extends the duration by that same time. This thing literally is the baby version of what Gyre or Gyre or whatever the fuck you want to call her, what she was in the beginning. Okay, this is what she was meant to do from the beginning, because her survivability was basically kind of like Gauss. If you can't hit what you can't touch, right? Well, if you're too far away and you're being electrocuted like you're on death row. And the funny thing is if they would have just not nerfed her, this would have never needed to be a thing, and I think Gyre would have been so much more popular. But I have literally stayed the fuck away from her. Because I had such a bad taste in my mouth with this Warframe. I really did. I had such a bad taste in my mouth with this Warframe because of the nerf that they did to her, considering she had no survivability in her kit whatsoever. So it was just like... Now, I know. There's probably going to be some people going, is Archon Stretch necessary? No. It's not. But given the fact that you're running a 45% efficiency and you're running, at least with this build, if you want to do, Augur Message, or if you want to do Constitution over here, okay? I think it's Constitution. Yeah, duration. Which, the faster knockdown recovery is not going to matter if you're running Prime Sure-Footed. If you're only running Sure-Footed, it will help. But if you want to run, Augur Message, or if you want to run Constitution, be my guest, because, here, Constitution, 183%, 18.3 seconds. That's at least a difference, right? We're at 17 seconds flat, 18.3 seconds. You do Augur Message, 17.9 seconds. Because this is the only thing that's going to be running on a timer. As long as you have this augment mod, this is the only goddamn thing running on a timer. But you're gaining 1.3 seconds for that many fucking points. Like, as far as point value goes, Augur Message is your best buddy. It really is. 100% is. Because, like, as you can see, there's 8 points up here, right? If there was no Umbral Forma on here, it would be 0 points. So the Umbra Forma was literally just because. Okay. Just because if I want to do something silly later, I have this entire slot right here to put whatever fucking mod I want to without going off-suited polarizations or anything of that sort. Hell, I almost didn't want to do a Xeneric polarization there just because I don't like doing that specific of a thing for an augment like that, but I did it, then I thought about it, was like, well, derp, I'm dumb. But no, like, I mean, you can turn around and, you know what, sure, you could run her stupid ass gun. Oh my god, everything is my fucking name. Fuck off. You could run her dumb ass gun, okay? You really can. You get a little bit more multi-shot with the gun, okay? But this gun is just not good. It's not like a complete piece of garbage. Okay? Like, it's alright. You know, its alt fire is interesting. It at least synergizes with the fucking frame. Like, its alt fire has a wicked fucking status to it. And it synergizes to exactly what the frame does, but it's just overall just a lackluster motherfucker, okay? And yeah, I know, my Riven's kind of meh. I mean, it's a status-based thing, right? So, but my Riven's kind of meh. It really is. It's a little meh. Yeah, it's not amazing. It's like, you could 100% run, you know, the Ultranox with her, and it would synergize with what she does. But, you know, I'm sorry, when a game tells you with an augment, says, hey, by the way, when you eliminate an enemy, I mean, let's just eliminate a motherfucker, right? I mean, let's not even think about this. Let's just eliminate this sumbitch. Let's make sure they don't exist anymore. You know, my gaze. Critical chance / electricity. Whatever. It's already a fucking radiation weapon anyway, so it doesn't matter. You know, it's just a shit ton of crit with Pack Seeker, so we're not mad at that. It's just, how do you get mad at that, right? The Glaive Prime, no need to even discuss because it works. We all know it works. This, I'm telling you right now, man. Gyre, you can see what number she is. Bitch is 17 on my list now. As soon as I finally mess around with her damn augment. And I know my list is constantly evolving. I started moving into frames that I just have been enjoying playing, right? So the top 17 frames are just frames that I enjoy playing. All around general utility, solo, grouping, doesn't... They have their specifics. Excuse me. They have their specific things that I use them for. And then I've got my entire list of Archon frames. And then all that. Not to say that any of these frames are bad. Like, this whole fucking row is mission-specific frames. Yes, I finally messed with Necros. I may go over that at some point. Don't know. Gotta build. I mean, look, Oberon, okay? I've been playing with Oberon. I've been playing with Gyre. I've been playing with Necros. I've been, messing around with Sevagoth. Yeah. Fellas couldn't fucking believe it, but I made a fucking, a wholeheartedly not shield gate based. I mean, over shield, yes. Not shield gate based. Warframe. Out of Oberon. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. It's good times to be Gyre right now. Okay, it really is. It's good times to be Gyre right now. That fucking augment literally brought back, I would say, 2/3 of what she did when she first released. She got 2/3 back of what the fuck they nerfed off of her to begin with. And honestly, God almighty, did this girl need it? She got what daddy was asking for. Yeah, good times, man. So, folks, you know what? Use the build, don't use the build. Call me stupid. Tell me it's all right. I don't care. I'm just saying, this shit works, okay? It 100% works. And like I said, personally, I'm going to put a Tau Forged Amber on there for casting speed, and then I'm going to put 4 Crimson Shards on her for ability strength. So it's going to put me up to 283% ability strength and increase her casting speed by what, 37.5. So that's going to make the, you know, Cathode Grace and Rotor Swell be so much more smooth, because those are horrible speed, casting speed. So yeah, Gyre, whatever anybody would like to call you. Welcome back, girl. Welcome back. We love you. Folks, thanks very much for watching. As always, we'll catch you in the next one, all right?